We have the old beat up control switch, left handlebar control switch for the 1986-87 TR200 by Honda. And then here is a brand new controller. Got a little bit of modification to make it work. I went ahead and I cut off the connectors that were on here, and there was also two separate pigtails coming off that I pulled out. And we're going to go through and rewire these so they're going to work together. One thing I did on the bike side of the wiring harness is I just taped off all the connectors that I pulled off of the controller. What I found when I was doing my other bike is that if you do the wrong brown or the wrong green, it'll start popping fuses. So I just want to make sure that I've isolated and I know that I'm hooking right back up to the ones that I went ahead and disconnected from. So when I bought the new wiring harness, it actually had multiple wires coming off. It actually had two black wires that were all connected together. So I cut off the other two. I'm just going to heat shrink this little connector right there. This is the positive coming in, so we want to make sure that's not going to short out on anything. So I'll just slide a little piece of heat shrink up on there now that I've cut off the other two wires, and cover it up. So we need to take the little pigtail connectors from the OEM harness and solder them on to our new harness. So I'll line them out together so that they end up being the same length. I'll cut them and then solder and heat shrink them together. All the wire colors line up, the only difference being that green on the old is black green on the new. So just do the black green to the green end, and then all your wires will line up. Okay, wires are all soldered, they're ready to be heat shrunk. Just a reminder, the only wire that doesn't match up perfectly is black green on the new harness goes to green on the old harness. And everything's gonna be covered with a wire loom when we're done, so it's gonna match when you're looking at it when you're installing it on the bike, so it should be super easy to follow. So this is the new controller. When I got this and opened it up, here on the kill switch it was white and black, and on the starter it was black and green and the yellow red. So I've already gone ahead and switched. I need the power coming in, so I took black off of the switch and swapped it with the black and green that was here. So now the kill switch has white and black and green. So on the new switch, it is a open circuit on the kill switch side, and it's contacting the yellow and red and black and green when it's in run. On the 87 Fat Cat, it's opposite. It's open on run, and it's contacting those two wires on the kill switch side. So what we can actually do is pop this open, and the switch fits from the old unit into the new one. So if I take off these two screws, pop off the red switch, make sure you put something in on the bottom to compress before you pry the switch up so you don't break it. Then we can take the switch out of the housing and desolder the wires in our new piece. We'll do the same thing with our old one, and then after we clean up the switch, we can swap them. So I'll show you when we have this open, we have them side by side. But we're gonna reuse the new, we're only gonna reuse the old switch. We're gonna do a new red toggle. So it'll look nice and brand new, but the actual mechanism inside is gonna be reusing the old one. So you can see how nasty the old switch was. All this dirt came out. I think some mud daubers got in there. You press in and pry the old switch off, and now you can push the switch and it's covered right out of the housing. Okay, so we have the switch that was in the new unit and the OEM switch. You got your 2 contacts for the yellow and red and the black and gray. And then on the OEM, it's on the side and on the back. Physically, they fit the same. They both have the little wire protector sheath, and actually the new red switch will fit right onto there. So it's an easy swap out. You just have to desolder the old one, solder the new one in. Other thing is that this is pretty nasty when I got it out. So first I blew it out with compressed air, hit it with brake cleaner, and then I popped it open and used a little copper brush to clean the contacts. Open this over a plate or a something that can catch it. It has a single little ball bearing. Both of these have ball bearings. This one has 2, this one has 1 ball bearing. That's what allows it to pop back and forth between the positions. And if you lose that ball bearing, you're out of luck. So again, this one is OEM style. There's open circuit when it is in the run position, and then you got continuity on the off position on both sides. The new one is opposite, so that's why we're having to change these. The new one has continuity when it's in the run position, so they just changed that style. So swap the switches out, and we're pretty much on our way to being done. Okay, so I actually am restoring 2 of these Fat Cats, so I'm doing 2 sets of switches. After cutting everything down, swapping the switch itself, and soldering and heat shrinking everything, you can go through and take the wire loom material that you have from the new harness and just rethread it over your wires and get it all set so it's ready to install. So I'll do that now, do the final installation and see how it works. And so again, with the new switch, by swapping these out, we have continuity when we are in the off position, which is how it should be for this model year. And before, continuity was in the run position. So it'll still turn over, but it won't run. But everything's functional.